You're an astronaut, so you need your space. And honestly, I think it's better this way. It's alright, no, you're not to blame. Don't you worry, I'm okay. Why do you hold this over mine? Why do you hold this over my head? Why do you hold this over my? You're an astronaut from outer space. I know I like you, so I kiss your face. I think I know why you've come over tonight. Gravity pulling, bending time, and all those feelings that linger deep inside. Though you push, they won't subside. Why do you hold this over my? Why do you hold this over my head? Why do you hold this over my? You know you carefree friend. Do I seem like the alien? I'm losing through the weekend. Do I seem like the alien? Waking up alone again. Do I seem like the alien? The alien, the alien. So why do you hold this over my? Why do you hold this over my head? Why do you hold this over my? Why do you hold this over my head? Hold this over my. You could hold this over my head, or you could be the alien instead.
Oh yeah, hope that launched you away right into orbit, folks. Just took you up into the sky, kept you at a nice velocity, took you into a zero gravity environment right there. Because that was just what would you say, an elevating track, a track which took you to the moon and back. I would say that was Astronaut by the absolutely phenomenal and somewhat mistaken Mardi Wilson, but. Most importantly, I have the absolute pleasure of having Mardi on the line with me right now. Mardi, hello. Firstly,
hello.
Welcome to Bar Talk. That was a lot shorter than I think. That was a lot shorter than I think it was going to be. I don't know why.
What was shorter?
The intro.
Oh no, I did. I mean, I was enjoying it. You sounded like you were. You'd been launched up. You're high as a kite.
Been taken away beyond the clouds.
You are up there. I can feel it.
Yeah. It's still rocket science,
I like it.
I want to welcome Mardi to the show too, because she's just come out with a phenomenal debut album, Get Lost, which has been, how many years in the making now?
About 15. No, like it's been 2,
15
but it
years?
feels like a lot longer.
15 days? 15 months?
Well,
Be
yeah.
specific. Come on.
15 astronauts.
15.
No, it feels like it's been a long time, but it's I think it's probably been about 2 years now.
Which is, you know, a good amount of time. I mean, not uncommon considering like last year and everything that did happen, but you know, not an insignificant period of time, is it?
It was not like let's make an album and smash it out. I mean, I'd never done it before, so I didn't really know what to expect, but I think I was particularly picky, which made it take a lot longer. But I don't think it was the quickest album ever made, but probably not the longest, so that's good. It's somewhere in the middle.
No, you know, just a nice middle ground. Is that what you reckon you are? You're just middle ground, or is that saying you're too vanilla? Do you reckon?
No, I'd cop that. It's like, what's that? Switzerland. I'm Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Just want to stay out of it. Just let me do my thing.
If in the Queensland music scene, you're Switzerland, who's Germany?
Oh, I don't know if I stand for that because I'm Switzerland. Like they wouldn't.
In true neutral fashion, Marty, you have no opinion on that.
I will not say. Actually, like I've never even thought about it. You'd have to come back to me on that one.
It has the joke. Well, not the joke, but the uncomfortable fact that Switzerland took all of Germany's money during the Second World War. Well, I mean, who did you scam recently? We'll call them Germany.
To be fair, I didn't even know that happened. I'm not great with geography or history, but I believe you.
You see,
I mean, who did I scam? I don't know. Like, I feel like no. I'm trying to think. I mean, the other night I ordered a Fireball and apple juice, and they gave me just whiskey and apple juice, and like nothing against the place because they make fresh apple juice and Fireball is fantastic. But I said, this kind of seems like just whiskey and not Fireball, and they were like, "Oh, we'll make you another one." But I got to drink both, and so I'm like, maybe I scammed them a little bit, but not really because I mean, I just wanted that sweet Fireball. Yeah,
so you did. They did. You did shortchange them. The bar is Germany. Then
the bar was Germany, and I mean, like, I think I'd ordered enough at that point that they were like, "Yeah, we'll just, you just take your Fireball and apple juice and be quiet."
At what point of the evening does it have to get to where Mardi Wilson has to have a Fireball and apple juice? Like, are we talking relatively early on in the evening, or after a few hours?
It's usually if they're serving it and they don't have pure blonde, then that's a win. I mean, because most places, this was like intense. They squeeze their own fresh apple juice, so they're putting them into the machine and like popping out fresh apple juice. So I thought, I'm getting my serves of fruit in, and also, just enjoying the album launch at the same time. It was the best night ever. And it would be a crime not to have one, considering it's freshly squeezed. Exactly. I mean, I don't like the when you used to get a popper and it was that apple juice that kind of looks like pee and it smells a bit like pee, and I'm like still not 100% convinced that it isn't pee. Like, it just has that vibe. Like, but then you drink it and it's okay. But I'm suspicious. I was going to say, how many foodstuffs do you reckon can come under that category where they taste a lot better than they smell? Oh, like blue cheese for sure. I mean, that smells bad, but I like blue cheese. Okay, actually, that's a very good point, because you can always, I think that puts off a lot of people, I think, because they go, yeah, no, this is way too pungent. And then you go, no, it's beautiful. Have it, have it, like a stinky cheese. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, it's a stinky cheese, but it doesn't taste stinky, Well, I mean, depending on how strong the cheese is and how long I've left it in the fridge for, Well, that's a good point. Actually, what's really interesting? Fun fact for you. Yes. While we're on the topic of music. Sure. You actually taste with your smell. So, like, your tongue and your mouth, I think, is responsible for, like, sweet, sour, salty, and bitter or something like that. And then everything else comes from your smell. So, like, if you're eating a piece of apple and you block your nose, it doesn't taste like apple. It just tastes like a bit sweet, a bit sour. And then you unblock it and it's like, boom, apple.
Because there's tablets you can take, or they come in the form of tablets where you can coat your tongue in this agent which stops you from tasting sourness, and then you can eat a lemon afterwards without wincing. And apparently, it tastes quite sweet because all your sour receptors have just been essentially numb. Yeah, like it's like injecting a thing of Valium into them. You can't feel a thing.
I think they use that for people to get off ciggies. They do that because then people don't like the taste or something.
Yeah.
But I've definitely heard of that. I think it's like some kind of natural plant that does it.
Yeah, but they've got it in pill form now, so you can just have a bit of fun with lemons, and then fool your friends. You go, you have some lemon. I bet you can't handle this. Without telling them, have one of these tablets, and then win whatever monetary value of betting that you've put towards this dare that you've done with your friend.
I bet I can eat 10 lemons, and then you do it, and you're loving life because it tastes so sweet, and then you probably have some kind of like eternal meltdown after, but it'd be worth it.
Well, I was going to say, I think I'm not sure if it wears off after about the 7th one. So, you can do that at your own risk, Marty, I feel.
Okay. All right. I'll give it a go.
Marty, we came here to chat about your record. And as much as I love shit talking about foods and what you should and shouldn't do and put into your mouth, I'm more interested about what you've put into your record.
Well, it did come out of my mouth, some of it.
Only the vocals, I hope.
That is, well, yeah, you're right, actually.
I'm trying to think, just what you've said reminds me. It's like, the rest of the music's coming out of my mouth as well. It just reminds me of, that scene in Lilo and Stitch where he puts the finger on the record player and he opens his mouth and it starts, he starts, like his mouth turns into a speaker. You know what I'm talking about?
Be the same person, because I was totally thinking of that scene as well.
Oh, looks like we've got a Disney stan over here, folks.
Oh, yeah. Lilo and Stitch. Like, I wanted my very own Stitch when I was a kid. Like,
yeah.
Who didn't? You
love the ocean, don't you? So, I mean, I think it's only natural.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they look like they were living a life there. It was a cool movie. But I do love the ocean. I mean, it's such like I don't know, sometimes I forget, if I haven't been for a swim in a while. And then we were talking about this before, kind of how hard it is to motivate yourself to do something like that. And especially when it's cold, like it's getting a bit cold and I'll go for a swim and, the thought of it is horrible because it's really, really chilly in the mornings. But once you've done it, you just go, oh, I feel like it's just washed away every negative thought I had.
Yeah.
That probably sounds really hippie, but like it's true.
Well, I mean, I was going to say from up north, but I mean, you're from Queensland, not Byron, there's not that much difference.
That's true. I mean, like, and to get to a good beach, you kind of have to go down into northern New South Wales anyway. So
okay, so yeah.
Oh well, no offense to the Gold Coast. I mean, there's nice beaches there, but I'm a Kingscliff fan, and it's just over. Okay.
So you got your rankings. You've got a personalised ranking, do you? Like, if this one isn't available, you go to the next one, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a system. I like to. All beaches are good, but it's particularly nice. Like in between, I think, like. Between the southern Gold Coast and Byron, it's like that perfect area where you've got Kingscliff and Cabarita, and they're just like nice beaches and they're kind of quiet. I don't like places with a lot of people.
You just can't handle with tourists, by the sounds of it.
It's not even just tourists, just like people in general.
just people. I'm sick and tired of people. They're so annoying.
Damn people.
There's full mouth breathers. These people.
Gosh, can people just leave me alone? No, I mean, literally, no one even tries to speak to me. But it's just too much sometimes. You just want to do a bit of yoga and chill out on the beach. I don't know. I think I'm a bit weird in that way. Like, I got mates that can go and be in a crowd of people and just be sort of very at peace. And meanwhile, I'm like, this is way too hectic. I need to sit outside.
Do you reckon they just get put off after a while, or they look at you and go, "Yeah, no, I'm not dealing with her."
No, I don't know. Like, I think I can mask it pretty well, but there comes a point when I'm like, I don't know if I can talk anymore. I mean, I'm a good talker, but as we can probably tell, like, let's be real.
Let's just listen. I can't shut up.
Listen, I'm a good talker, all right?
Real talk. I like words, sentences,
I do.
conjunctions.
I like them better in songs.
Actually, on that topic, what do you try and do? You think are you very conscious when you're trying to form your lyrics when you are writing, or is it a case of that you really do just go for whatever naturally does come out?
It's a bit of both. Like usually I'll start writing a song and there'll be like an idea that kind of comes to me and the lyrics will sort of start to form. But then I sort of do that thing of using like a dummy lyric where you're just coming up with the melody and singing silly words that it's not going to be the final lyric. It's just a bit of like filling space. And then I go back over. I do tend to think a lot about words and their interpretation. And I love like writing a song where, the one sentence could mean two things. Like I've got that song Don't Stop, and we were chatting about it, me and my producer, and he was like, it's interesting because it could be like don't stop or don't stop, like as in, there's two different meanings. I don't know. It depends on how you say it.
It's like, let's see where the phrase takes us, and depending on the tone and the way you sort of, phrase it, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Or even having, like, I've written a song recently where there's, now I'm trying to think of what the line is, but there's a word that, how the English language is crazy and like some words are
it's
spelled
fucked.
different, but said same. It's just stupid. Like, I don't know who made it up, but I mean, no offense to them because I do write with the English language, like that's the main thing.
Yeah, I feel like you're biting the hand that feeds you at this point in time, Marty. You better watch out what you do say, which, may I remind you, you're saying in English.
Oh my God, what have I done? We're going to have to re-record this interview again.
All right, Swahili next time. Actually, say again, but that's funny because of course people won't know from the fact that this is the second attempt we've had a go at doing this, because the first attempt we accidentally deleted it, didn't we?
Yes. Well, I mean, I didn't.
No, you had nothing to do with it. That's fair enough. For whatever reason,
it sounded a bit sad. You know what? Like the next day when you sent me that, I was like, you know what? I had such a fun time having a chat, and we had a really good interview, and I thought, man, that went well. And then you sent me that text, and you're like, we were vibing hard, and then I don't know what's happened, but it's gone. And I was like, it's going to just be better the next time. It's a sign. We just got to. And so I did everything the same today. I was like, eat the same lunch, do the same thing. I was telling you before. I'm like, got to get myself in the mindset to have an even better interview.
I feel like whatever we did last time, it was just too pure for this world, and it just could not exist.
You know what it probably is? Like, it would have broken the internet. It was that good.
Yeah. I don't think the world was ready for it.
No, it wasn't.
With all the shit that's happened, they just couldn't deal with it.
I think you're right. I really do.
But you were saying before about dummy lyrics and that, though. Has there ever been a situation though where you have decided to keep the dummy lyrics and you've gone, well, I can't think of anything better to make up for it. Let's just roll with these dummy lyrics and see where it goes.
I mean, like there's times when I've kept a song like that for a while, but then eventually it will change, or like maybe sometimes I'll expand on a dummy lyric. But I've never like fully kept the initial dummy lyrics. I listen back to some recordings and I'm like, what on earth were you even saying? Like, it's pretty crazy, like from where it starts, this, and I'm listening and I'm like, I don't even remember singing that. That doesn't even make any sense. But then, they can give you a bit of inspiration. Like some of the dummy lyrics are quite clever. It's kind of like when you're, walking around the house and you're going, I'm going to make a bit of toast. And like you start singing, narrating your life. Next thing, it's a song.
Oh, yeah. The toast song. It's definitely got to be on the next record.
I actually have a song called Toast, believe it or not.
Do you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it actually about toast, or is the toast supposed to be a metaphor? Like, are you there to roast someone, or is it just, you're spreading someone thin? Like, I don't know, I'm getting into cocky metaphor mode here, Marty, but this is how songwriters work.
Like, I mean, this is one of those songs, there's no metaphor. I was just thinking about like the simple joys of making toast, for the person you love in the morning and sitting in bed with a cup of coffee. And so that was kind of like the vibe of it was very much just about making toast with avocado.
Well, I was going to say that sort of brings up something interesting. Like, at what point are you got to like appreciate the little things compared to the big achievements you've made, such as the fun and success you've had so far with this record? Like, where do you have to find the balance between the small things and the big things?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that's like a constant theme for me, and something I maybe realized. I don't know. I've always kind of known it, but I think I'm starting to realize it more and more. Like, and I think maybe it's like a bit of an issue with people is they're like, oh, I'll be happy when this happens. And, you know, I remember the first time I got a song played on the radio, I was so ecstatic. And I thought like, because I just never thought that would happen. And then now it's kind of, it's normal in a way. But I've still got to take that time to like, you know, reflect. And every time it happens, be really grateful, because there was a time when I just thought, you know, how could this even be that I'm on people's radios? So I think appreciating the little things, it's something you got to like practice and never forget. You know, it's hard to explain. It's like those things that once brought you joy. It's almost like when you're a kid and something makes you really excited, like building a fort, and then you sort of lose that. But, you know, then I've had times in my adult life where I'm like, let's build a fort and it's going to be just as fun. And it absolutely is. Oh,
pillow forts are always boss, aren't they?
You cannot go wrong. Like, and it just sort of, it brings you back down to what's really like important and fun in life, is like the simple things, you know?
You were mentioning before too about your love of beaches and the ocean and that, because I see you did record it in Nerang, which obviously, as you know, is not far from the ocean. So, I mean, was it very conscious to have that location for recording because of what you know you like, or was it a case of it being totally coincidental and potentially maybe it had some you know unconscious effect on the record?
Yeah, like I mean, it was definitely a bit of a coincidence, but maybe like a subconscious decision, because you know I travel a bit between the coast and Brisbane and play shows like in both areas, and I was like, this is kind of a happy right in the middle, so you know I can sort of make it happen on my way down or on my way back. And I think maybe being close to the ocean did play a bit of a part in it, like just the general vibe. But it wasn't like something that I decided that I wanted to be near the ocean to make the album, but I'm glad that that's how it happened, because maybe people can pick up on that vibe. I don't know.
I don't know. What is an ocean vibe? Like, I know we're going, oh yeah, it's a vibe, it's a thing, you know, but like, it's hard to describe it, isn't it?
That's true. I mean, like there was some bits where we took little snippets of ocean sounds and put them into songs and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, then again, there's also times when we put other weird sounds in that have nothing to do with the ocean. So I don't know what an ocean vibe is. I think that's kind of like, you know, when people were asking what genre I played, I said, well, I don't know, because it's sort of like it's the hardest question. I feel like it's really hard. You know, I thought it was sort of singer-songwriter, but then it's a bit folky and a bit indie. And then I said, I looked up if surf, because there's surf rock, and then I Googled looked up on Instagram hashtag surf folk, because I thought that sounds like me. And no one had ever said anything about surf folk, so I thought I would just claim it. And that's kind of what I mean. There's nothing super surfy about it, but it's where I get a lot of inspiration. So
is that your thing now, surf folk?
Yeah, it's weirdly, like at the beginning I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't really pioneer a genre, but I couldn't pick one, you know, that I really liked the sound of, because I kind of can do a bit of, I like to write bluesy sort of stuff and then very acoustic things, but it's always inspired in some part by like that ocean laid back lifestyle. So I think surf folk is kind of, it is a vibe. I don't know. I think it's going to be a thing.
I was going to say, how much success or, you know, lack thereof that you've had with this endeavor of trying to get people to to take on this term?
You know what? I'm going to look it up right now, because I want to know if anyone else has started using like surf folk.
You haven't been casually dropping it just randomly, in interviews and other official, official things. Yeah.
I mean, people have put it in sort of what do you call it, like promotional stuff about me, because that's what the words that I started using was surf folk. And now that I'm looking at it, like it's the hashtag surf folk music is just essentially my post. And there's a few others, like I can see who's in here. We got Jack Botts, and he's like amazing.
Yeah. I would agree he's surf folk as well. So, fuck yeah, that's good company to be in too.
Exactly. And we have a similar style. So, like, you know what? If he wants to join the surf folk bandwagon.
The bandwagon. All royalties. Get that, that bragging money. I think he owes you a drink as well. Oh,
I mean, of course. Everyone does.
Just by default. Just because I'm here. I deserve one.
Well, I mean, like, yeah. Well, I don't know how that actually works, but I'd buy anyone a drink if they gave me a smile and a good vibe. So tell everyone who you, because I couldn't think of a way to bring it up. Tell people who you got mistaken for one time, because we were having a good laugh about this last time, and I'm so disappointed that I don't care about the rest of the interview, but I swear the way last time you told this story, it got me in stitches. But tell people about the time you got mistaken for someone else. Yeah, I don't even know how we got onto that last time, but I was walking around somewhere with my guitar, and I think I had my hair like done in a bit of a top knot, but with the rest of it out. And someone came running up to me and tapped me on the shoulder and went, "Oh!" And then sort of I turned around and they kind of looked a bit disappointed, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were Amy Shark." And
yes.
I don't know. It was just weird. Like, and I sort of thought it's funny because this is before I even like recorded with Brad, who's Amy Shark's bass player, and I don't even know if I told him that story. But I think we were saying last time, like, if we could swap lives for a bit, like I would totally be up for like taking on the persona.
Yeah, so you can do it, because I noticed she's doing a promotional thing with Bundaberg rum now. And I swear I scrolled past the post on Facebook and I'm like, oh no, surely not. Surely it isn't her. It's like, oh yeah, no, it's true. It's definitely Amy Shark, and yeah, she definitely looks like Marty.
I saw that too, the Bundy rum thing, and I think it was something about like I don't know. It sounded good though. Whatever she was making, I was like that. Absolutely.
Do you ever get on? I know this is getting off track again, but I love doing this.
Me too.
Is there a particular Bundy drink that you really like? Considering you're from that part of the world.
Well, no, I mean, like, I'm not from up that far. It's like I'm not a huge rum drinker, and like I can't really comment on Bundy rum, but I can say that my uncle, he, like, for as long as I can remember, his like thing is rum and Coke. Yeah. But it's very specific. It's like the Coke has to be from a can. Yeah. And it has to be like the glass full of ice, and then pretty much like 50-50 rum to Coke, and then stir it with your pinky. That's like a very important step. And yeah, like, I don't know, it's taken me years to perfect, but he's very happy now that I have, because like he won't let many people make his rum and Cokes.
You're so specific about it, though.
Well, he is. Like,
wait, I thought you were talking about yourself. It's like, I've only got to have it. And then you've got to bow down and kiss my ring,
And then you have to put just a little sprig of rosemary in. No, but like he insists that you stir it with your pinky. So like, I think there must be some kind of magic in that. I don't know.
Wait, so who's this? Amy Shark or?
No, my uncle.
Oh, your uncle.
Honestly. Like, I kid you not, anyone that knows him knows he's very particular about his rum and Coke and the pinky stir at the end.
And obviously he has to, I'm guessing, it has to be a specific brand of rum too.
Oh, it's got to be Bundy.
It's got to be Bundy. Yeah, I've always Bundy has that specific flavor. So it makes me want to, it's like if you don't feel like you want to punch a bunch of, wahoos, you don't feel like punching a bunch of people after having a few, I feel like you haven't had the full Bundy experience. Yeah,
that's the rum rage for you.
The rum rage.
I don't think I've never actually I've never had enough Bundy to experience that. But Maybe try it in a safe environment one day.
Put you in a padded cell and just let you loose.
Exactly.
Shove you in the cell with a bottle. Yeah. All right, Marty, go nuts.
Let's just see what happens. Like one of those, the marshmallow test with little kids.
Yeah. I'm here with Mardi Wilson, and we're talking a little bit about her album, but a lot about other shit. Mainly
other shit.
Mainly the other shit. Actually, speaking of booze, we're going to take ourselves a little break. We're going to come back real quickly. We're going to get ourselves a mid-interview drink, aren't we?
7:20 on the dot. Yeah, I think it's a perfect time.
I think so too. I'll tell you what. Let's take a short recess, and we'll come back with our preferred drinks of choice and lament each other's choice of drink. How does that sound?
I love it.
Okay, sounds good. We'll be back soon, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Don't move.
All right, here we are with we're back with our drinks, right? And I made a little bit of an error, I think, Marty.
What did you do?
So I was going to go for a whiskey, and then I saw, I see there's an unopened bottle of brandy in there, and I have no ideas who it was. I think one of our friends just gave it away, and it's not that good.
Is there a reason that there's a reason they gave it away.
I can't remember the name of it, but I've seen it before. I'm guessing it's more of a mixer. So I was like, that's not that good. I'll put it in some ice. Maybe that'll make it taste better. So I'm like, it's all right, though. It's starting to cool down, and it's not so bad now.
I mean, I could hear a lot of rattling going on. I was wondering what was happening.
Yeah, me just trying to work out how I can stomach this.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I was like sitting in the room because last time that we recorded this, I had this metal lamp and I was like, let's do a fake cheers. And I cheers the lamp and it just went ding, like so beautifully. It was such a beautiful sound. And now I'm just stuck here like whacking drawers and I'm trying it on this lamp. It's like, this is the sound. Not a cheers.
There's just nothing. There's nothing will substitute. It's just so shocking.
No, some things we just can't recreate from last time.
No, that's the problem.
It's all right though.
I'm here though with Marty, and we're talking hopefully a bit more about her album.
Yeah, let's do that. I keep getting distracted.
I mean, with the album too, because you did end up releasing quite a few singles from it too, which came through, as you know, we're talking a couple of years ago now with some of them, and then some more recently earlier this year. But quite a few of the songs too, because I remember when I was listening through it, I got, that came out as a single quite a while back. I remember that came out as a single. And it came to me like, wow, it's like you ended up deciding to put out a lot of them as their own tracks as well. So what was the thinking behind that, as opposed to, dropping one or two and then just, there's the album, go ahead and listen to it?
Yeah, well, like that was the initial plan. And because, I'd released an EP before that and then a single and had recorded like just this kind of demo track sort of CD, but I've never released that. And then, so we were going to I wanted to do like one or two songs and then the album, because I thought, like not that many people know of me yet. It was all right, but like I thought to just dump an album on people would be a bit much. So I wanted to kind of grow the excitement. And so the plan was to do like one or two and then do the album. And then it just kind of turned into like over COVID, I didn't want to release the album because after a year I was like, right, here's the time, we're gonna release the album. And I think I'd released maybe 4 songs as singles before that. And then COVID hit and I couldn't tour, and so I thought, well, I don't really know if I want to release an album if I can't do a tour. And so that's kind of what extended it a bit more. But I'm kind of glad because it was nice to sort of share almost half of it. I mean, it's 13 songs and I released 5 sort of quite a bit earlier and then 1 just before it was fully released.
Yeah.
And I think it was nice because and even the way that I put it together, I was like, I want the album to kind of go like an unreleased one and then one that people have heard before and be this sort of nice flow of the combination of the two. So that, I don't know, people have got something to sing along to in the middle, I guess.
You're just prepping them essentially for when you do tour. And you're like, at least you're going to know some words to some of my songs.
just basting them like a Christmas ham, just getting them primed and ready. I don't know what that analogy was, but
Christmas ham. Geez, are you a bit hungry, are you? You want just a nice cozy up? Because you were saying it's very cold where you are right now.
It is a bit chilly, yeah. It's been a cold snap.
You're just wanting you're just hankering for a nice
Christmas
toasted ham over the fire. Roast the chestnuts, Reginald.
I feel like no matter what, we just always go back to food. But I would love like some pea and ham soup or something. That would be good.
Yeah. Bloody hell, that would be delicious. I think. Yeah.
I had like a little soft launch for my album release with a few quite a lot of friends and family, and I was very last minute and just kind of thrown together just before the album came out, and we did a big ham because that's like a bit of a tradition in our family. And we had people like fighting over the ham bone because everyone wanted to take it home and make pea and ham soup. But
so
Mum said no. I said no.
Oh.
We got the bone, of course. Now we've got pea and ham soup for like years.
Oh.
In the freezer.
Sounds amazing. So Mum's already made the soup.
Yeah, so Mum's done her version, and then I think I'll come in and give it a go. Like I think it's almost like a pea and ham soup competition now.
Bit of a family rivalry going on there by the sounds of it.
But we take little tips from each other, so it's a good rivalry. It's the kind where you're growing, you're evolving, making better pea and ham soup for it. So
I was going to say, with that little listening party you said you had with your friends and your folks and that, what was it like giving them the taste test, so to speak?
It was really cool. It was so much fun. Like I don't know if a lot of them had heard me play live in a while, or if they had, it was probably like in a venue that was a bit like more of a bar, like with a lot of people chatting and stuff. So it was nice to kind of have everyone sit down and listen. Like I haven't experienced that really. Like I have in certain situations, but not really with my friends and family. Like they tend to come to gigs where I'm like, oh, this is sort of a more chilled out vibe. And it's been a while since I've played to a lot of them, and especially in an environment where they can kind of like hear the lyrics. So it was so much fun. Like everyone was just dancing and eating ham. So, you can't go wrong.
Just the ham, or were they having it with something else?
Oh, there were bread rolls and that classic, like bit of mustard and ham and bread rolls.
Was it actually a freshly cooked ham, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Mardi, I haven't had dinner yet.
Yeah, neither have I.
I'm going to be...
This is what's going to get us onto food. And like the last time we started talking about the whole cooking with Mardi thing, like that weird Instagram.
Yeah. Segment. Do you think? Yeah. How's that coming along? What have you haven't been showing off your pea soup on your Instagram stories, have you? Snapchatting you're peeling the pea pods.
Oh, actually, that's a really good idea. Like fresh peas in there instead. Maybe I should do that. Like a combination of the fresh peas.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't done a cooking with Mardi in a while. It's been busy, and I keep like making it, but I'm going to get onto it and get around it.
So I feel like there's no excuse. Yeah, there was just a missed opportunity just to get the big ham bone and go getting a bone over here. And what are you doing with your weekend?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point. When I get well, there's two more bones in the freezer, so I'll bring one down. The next time I'm down, I'm going to bring a ham bone and I'll make a big pot of soup.
Call me a dog because I got a bone.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Just like wave it at their face.
Slap them with a ham bone. Solves every argument. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Ham bones.
What were we saying? Something about
the little
album.
A little album listener. You haven't done the mistake where you've accidentally told someone that you wrote a song about them, have you?
Oh, I've never accidentally told someone.
Okay.
I always like to point, I either have made it obvious through just subtle ways if it's a mean song, and then I wouldn't tell them, but I feel like they would know.
I like it. Very passive aggressive. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not well. In conversations, I'm generally quite open, but when it comes time to express it in a song, I don't know who's actually listened, but I'm assuming that they could like connect the dots. But if it's a positive song, like even if it's, say, someone I've had feelings for and then don't anymore, I'm like, I'll absolutely tell them. That sounds really bad. Not like don't have feelings for, but you know, when you're crushing on someone, you know, and to me, that's like you're in that state where you kind of feel all inspired and caught up in the moment, I guess. And so I've written a few songs like that, and I'll tell people because, you know, I think that's nice. I'm like, not in a creepy way, but this was about you, and I'm, you know, not a weirdo, but you just inspired me to write this song.
Just in a non-creepy way, yeah. It sounds bad, but yeah.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I'm like, maybe it is a bit weird, but most of the time, people haven't reacted in a bad way. They're like, oh, that's nice, and thank you.
You wrote a song
It's
about
like,
me. Oh, how nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Tick that one off my bucket list.
Now that I'm speaking it out loud, it sounds awkward, but I swear that it hasn't been weird when it's happened in the past.
Well, we'll make you think. We'll make you think that.
Yeah. Now I'm just going to be questioning everything, lying away. Like, oh
yes. You know, I've done a good job at interviewing you when I've triggered an existential crisis.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I'm already an overthinker as a musician, so you can't trigger it too bad. You
can't topple the queen.
Oh my God.
We were mentioning last time, and I will bring it up again because it's such an interesting, I guess, facet of your own personality. You were mentioning that you do have the condition of synaesthesia, which, for those of you who don't know, it's when you can, and you'll probably be able to explain it better than I am, but it's where essentially some people may see things like colours almost visually in their mind, or in your case, you're mentioning words. You seem to be able to visualize words quite easily.
Yeah, it's so funny because like you were asking me a question last time and I was like, oh, I think it was about something about who would you want to sue you for some reason. How we got onto that. But,
which, by the way, I remember you specifically said it was Paul Kelly. So,
yeah, but that was assuming that if he was to sue me, it would all be a big misunderstanding, and then we could like just like laugh it off and write some really good songs together.
So not that you'd wink accidentally ripped him off for one of his songs.
No, and I
got
thought
a little too close to your influences, you know.
Oh, it was about the gravy recipe, something like that, something non-musical related.
Yes.
He's like, oh, you're a musician, and then we could just like write songs. That would be fantastic.
But yes, Your Honour, you'll clearly see in the Paul Kelly recipe it asks for a dash of white wine, a dash of red wine, and a dollop of tomato sauce for taste. Whereas in my song, Your Honour, it's a dash of tomato sauce and a dollop of white wine. So therefore, there's clearly been a misunderstanding there.
You don't have a leg to stand on. Now, Paul, whip out your guitar and let's write a song. That's how I would imagine the court case going down, and then the jury erupts into song and dance, and yeah.
There's a couple of music videos that follow that I can think of that follow that particular plot line. So yeah. Again, watch what you say, Marty. There's a lawsuit around every corner these days.
Yeah, careful what you wish for. But no, so you asked me that question, and then I have this thing. Like I think it's a combination of a few things because I've had a seizure. Like I had that back in 20, and they thought that it was epilepsy. But like for me, since I was young, I'd been having these experiences where it was like I'd try to explain it like in words, but I was like, because I never thought that it was weird. I was just like, oh, like when you're having a conversation or you're looking at something, and then it sort of just stops being what it is and turns into like the words that you're hearing or the things that you're thinking. And everyone would just kind of go, what the hell? And so this one time I was trying to explain it to my dad, and he'd just broken his leg, of course. And, I was saying, I was trying to sort of explain to him in words what I was visually seeing. And it just escalated so much that I had a seizure. And then, so for a while they thought maybe it was related to epilepsy. I was on all these medications and crazy things. But anyway, long story short, they ended up doing this long EEG of over 5 days where I'd write down when I had one of these visual episodes. And there was no change in my brain activity, so no epilepsy. And the only thing they could say was that they think it's synaesthesia or I don't even know how you say it properly, synaesthesia.
Yeah, I think that is right, yeah.
Yeah, because for me it's particularly, it happens a lot when I'm playing music. So like if I'm getting really into the song, sometimes I just kind of lapse into this world of like the words that I'm saying. They pop up in my vision as like, it's like in my mind's eye, or something as simple as I could sneeze and then I'll see the word achoo, and it's just for a brief moment. Or like, I mean, I was in a restaurant one time and looked at the door and it had text on it, and it was just like a few letters, but I started having one of these things and I thought that it said front door, and I was like, I know that that's not what it says, because it was the restaurant name or whatever it was. Yeah. But it's kind of like, for some reason, it's like a crossover of two senses. So the most common one is where people look at numbers and they'll see them as a color. So like, one might be red and twos are green, and so on and so forth. So like people can test it by doing a grid of sixes with like 2 nines put in there, and there might be like 100 sixes and 2 or 3 nines. And someone with the condition just goes boom, boom, like, because their brain processes numbers as colors. And that's like the easy one to explain. It's just two senses that have intertwined somehow. And yeah, it's kind of like with me with vision and hearing. And it's funny, I'm like going on about it so much, but even when I speak about it, then it triggers those episodes to happen. It's really interesting. So I'm kind of like having it as I'm speaking now.
Yeah. With that, do you think that has some effect on how you do structure words in, I guess, the lyrics that you put down for some of the songs? Do you tend to think that may have had an effect on the style of songwriter that you are?
I don't know, because it's not like words have a specific color, or like some people have that where words have a color or like a flavor. But for me, it's more like the emotion behind the words. So it definitely has an impact when it comes to performing, because when I get into like a bit of a zone, and when I know it's a really emotional part of the song, then it can trigger these kind of visual things. So like it plays into it, definitely. And I've written songs about it, but it doesn't really necessarily change how I write songs, but it definitely changes how I perform them. And like it's interesting. Like it's a weird kind of condition to live with, because people don't know that much about it, I guess.
It's so hard. It must be so hard to diagnose too, as your own story, exemplifies, I think.
Well, yeah. And I mean, like with the seizure thing, like I didn't sleep the night before because I was a bit stressed out about just like various things, and like because my dad had broken his leg and whatnot, and then I was like, oh, my mum's got to worry about dad, and then next minute she's got to worry about me. But I think it was sort of like a whole cluster of stuff that happened, and then it led to that. So like you say, yeah, it can be misdiagnosed, and I think for me that was just an unlucky sort of spanner in the works that drew people away from what the root cause really was, or like what I was actually experiencing. So it's interesting.
On this, though, I do want to actually chat about the album art as well. Now, was it yourself that did the album art, or?
No, so a mate of mine, Holly Nielsen, yeah, that's how you say it, did the album art, and her thing is paper hands, and it's so good because, I mean, I love art and I love making art, but particularly I'm really judgmental of my own artwork, so it's nice to go to someone and be like, just take this and roll with it. Like, and we would have these big chats about how she felt about the song and how I felt about it, and just sort of create this artwork. And I look at it and I know that I'm never going to get sick of it because I just think they're all so beautiful. Yeah,
there's a lot going on in it.
Lots of like flying cheeseburgers and
just to make me even more hungry.
Yeah, I know, me too.
And I'm sure it looks like it's a cookie or a biscuit rather than a planet. And you got like what is clearly a banana for the moon, or it could be like a disc of cheese. I don't know.
So everything just looks like food to you right now?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's this person, but right now they look like a steak.
Yeah. Yes. Just to bring back another movie trope,
Oh, no, it was so much fun working with her. Like, I mean, we had really long chats about like each song and what we kind of envisaged for the artwork, and she always just brought it to life. Like we were very much on the same wavelength, so that was really cool to work with someone on that. And like throughout the process, I wanted each artwork to have like an element of the previous artwork.
Yeah.
So we started with the planets, and then that ties in with the next one, and then as it goes along, there's always like, it's kind of like that mirror effect where there's always a part of the last one within itself, like a tiny little version of it. So the Part-Time Lover art has a little poster of the Don't Stop artwork on there in it. So it's kind of like that was sort of the idea, was at the end to have this artwork that just mushed together all of the different artworks, which I don't know how she did it, but she was amazing and managed to pull it together, and it looks so cool. Well, I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I'm just actually having a look at them now. I get exactly what you mean, because you've got astronaut, like the planets, and then you're right, the same figure or whatever, and standing in the water, and you've got Salty as it's like the screenshot of, or the cropped part of the whole record cover, which is really cool. It's a really cool concept.
Yeah, and at the beginning, I wanted it to be like 4 singles, and each one formed like a quarter of the image. So there was one big image, and then it was like a puzzle. But then I sort of thought, I don't know, like maybe it's better to do this idea of like just elements from each one and then bringing it all together in the final artwork. So I'm glad that it worked out how it did. But there was a lot of ideas floating around, but I wanted to like, bring in another form of art. Like music is art, and art is obviously art. So
yeah,
and I'm really passionate about like supporting other creative people. So to me, it was so awesome to be able to like work with her and do this awesome like kind of collaboration of just brainstorming and just making cool art together.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm literally just looking at your Spotify like profile, and for whatever reason, and I'm assuming this is auto-generated, it does say for like under the section of artists that you may also like, it has a bunch of them that pretty makes sense, and then it's just got the Australian Chamber Choir. Have you got a bunch of like fans of have you got a bunch of crossover with them? Have you?
Actually, you know what I think? Think's going on? Like I used to have these things that, the artists that you might also like, and it used to be different. And then I released the album, and the Sydney Morning Herald did like a bit of a write up on it, and they were really super kind in what they said, and they gave it a 5 star, which I was like completely blown away by. And but I think like it's almost a different demographic that reads the newspaper, which is awesome, because like I'm gaining these new fans, but maybe it's changing up the kind of artists that you may like. I've noticed that the age of my listeners, there's a big group of them now in the sort of older category, which is awesome, because like I've always wondered how to connect with like different demographics. So it's really cool.
You're gonna have to really try and get a family friendly show going, just purely because you've got this demographic that's very broad now that likes your music. I
know, like it's almost more people in that demographic than my own age group now. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do if I just keep doing what I'm doing.
Mardi, I'm not going to like try and take over the role of your manager, but clearly there's got to be there's got to be a collab with the Chamber Choir. Which I joke and I say, look, Chamber Choir, let's get the full orchestra, but that would actually be pretty cool. Like.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah. It'd be great to hear choir behind some of those songs, though.
That would actually be really cool. You got me thinking now. I'll send them a shot. Or you send them one and be like, you guys have to collaborate.
Yeah. We've had the pleasure of our station manager has had the pleasure of seeing some awesome shows with the MSO with some bands, like as he keeps bragging, seeing he was lucky enough to see Birds of Tokyo with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. So that might have to be the next aim to get you with whatever symphony orchestra is available.
That would be really cool. I mean, like
Maybe
as
not
long as they
Melbourne.
can-
I think they're booked out till 2023. But yeah, Brisbane Symphony Orchestra. I never hear about them. They're probably free.
Hey, I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I'll collab. I don't mind. It's funny. I think we were talking about it last time. How like, I've not really done a lot of collaboration, and how like tolerant my producer was throughout the whole process. Because I would be coming at everything with a very like, I don't know what chord I'm playing, but this is the song that I want to record, and like, and just having no clue. And he's like, so what key is it in? And I'm going, what's a key? Like, and I've got music mates, and they're just going, like, how do you not understand that? But I mean, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things, and so like, it's just goes to show Brad was very tolerant of me, and like really learnt how to know what I was talking about when I didn't know exactly how to verbalize what I was thinking. But if a certain sound wasn't right, I would have to call him and be like, it needs to be more of a dung sound rather than a dung.
Honestly,
and he'd go, right. Let me work with that. But so,
honestly,
between
that and coughing, and then hearing the word, seeing the word Corona in front of you, I'm genuinely surprised the album even got put together.
Well, I mean, you're right. Maybe, you know what? You just make me think like maybe that's even why in a lot of the songs, like, with Don't Stop, there's, it's a lot about like drug taking and stuff. And I was like, nah, in this song, there's got to be like some sounds of people like snorting lines and, like bottle caps opening and just like rowdy behavior in the background. And we were trying to work out how to like fit that in there. And it's funny, like maybe actually that is a bit of a, my synaesthesia playing into it where I want like that almost environment or like ambient sound in there to put you in that place.
When we were playing that song in the car, me and my girlfriend were going, we heard the siren in the song and we're going, shit, where's the flashing lights? Do I have to slow down to 40?
Get out of here. Okay, so you know what happened? This is such a story, and I just remembered, is I was listening to like the demo version that Brad sent me, and I'm driving in the car and it got to that bit, and then I heard sirens, and I was like, oh shit, is that in the song or is that in real life? And then there was an ambulance coming up behind me. I was like, oh, get out of the way. And then it was like this moment of that has to be in the bridge, like the ambulance sirens.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh my God, imagine how many people are going to listen to this and be like, oh my God, I need to pull over. Like, so I hate when people do that in songs, like put beeping horns and sirens, but I did it anyway because I had to. You
went to the dark side.
Exactly.
It's like that meme from Star Wars. You became the very thing you swore to destroy.
I know. Like when they're doing the traffic report and it's like, boop, boop. And then you go, oh, shit. What have I done?
It does really sound like you had an absolute ball working with Brad as your producer. What stands out for him as the person that you decide to choose compared to maybe other people you've either worked with or have had an association with in the past? What really stands out as far as Brad being a producer?
I mean, I've never really worked with anyone that I don't enjoy working with, but like I just kind of went into it and I was like, I'm sure I'll find someone and I'll just get a good vibe. And I think the thing about Brad was like he was very flexible and made the whole thing really relaxed. And for me, like, I was a bit nervous, like going into recording a whole album. And I don't know, he was just kind of like, I said, do you mind if I bring in some beers? And he was like, oh, this is what we're here for. Like, of course. So, it was nice because I was pretty unfamiliar with it. Like I'd done stuff in the past, but it's, he was able to put me in that really relaxed state of mind where like, obviously you're sounding the best and making the best kind of music when you've just, you feel like you're with a friend. And, I'm a bit of a person where I don't like to kind of put my foot down on things. And like, particularly if someone's really like insistent on something, usually I'll just sort of cave and be like, yeah, okay. But he's very like open to suggestions and wouldn't kind of put shit on what I was trying to say. it's hard to explain. Like, you know, he didn't sort of just dismiss if I said, oh, we need a siren in here or whatnot. Like, we'd always give it a go. And, you know, sometimes my ideas sounded terrible and sometimes they sounded good. So I think having that level of like just real comfort was the best thing because, you know, we experimented a lot and just were able to have like this relaxed environment and it came together. Like, it was just so much fun. Like, there was never not a fun day. I loved it.
Nice. It's great though, and the fact that you guys got along together so well, I think really reflects in how good the album sounds. It's always, I know that sounds stupid, but it definitely helps. And it's not just you that I've heard that off. Everybody else that's always enjoyed having that good real connection with who they work with, the record or the project or whatever they put together with them always ends up sounding great because of it.
Oh, yeah. And like also, you know, something I forgot to mention with Brad is like he's also so good at so many instruments. So like, you know, that was really handy. Like, you know, I didn't have to get in a musician every time I wanted something done that I couldn't personally do. Like I played the drums on a lot of the tracks and the guitars, but then, you know, he would do the bass or, you know, just start playing the piano and, you know, he did some of the backing vocals when it needed that sort of extra oomph to it. And, you know, he'd just be like, be right back. Can you just push the space bar when I tell you to go? And, you know, whip out a trumpet and start like playing this trumpet solo. And he's talented in like so many areas. And I was just like in awe, to be honest. You know, any area that needed filling, like it was so handy to have someone that could do so many different things. It was awesome.
Yeah. It's just, you know, just letting you. It's like the guy in the movies that goes, right, you're driving the plane now, jumps out the window with a parachute. It's like, there's the pitch, there's the yaw. Good luck.
That's literally what it was like. And then he was like a superhero coming back in, and they're like, all right, don't worry, I got it from here. And just whip it all together. It was awesome.
What a champ.
Honestly, he really was. Well, he is.
What? Let's quickly mention what you've got coming up for the rest of the year. Now that the album's out, what are your plans for the next few months?
So I'm just about to head off on tour, and I'm sure that I will have announced those dates. I think I'm going to announce it this week.
I mean, it's coming out this Thursday, so
I'm sure they'll be announced, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. I mean, like, okay. I don't know what the rules are, but anyway, I'm heading down. Well, I'm announcing.
I thought you would have made the rules up. This is your tour.
Well, yeah.
For God's sake, Marty, be your own boss for once. Come on.
You know what? I'm going to announce it before I even know what day I'm announcing it.
Maybe keep some things under wraps.
Well, no. I mean, I'm not one of those people. I don't like to. I'm not a tease, like, except with an album that takes 2 years to make. But no.
Geez, should I start digging with your exes to see if that statement's true or not? I'm not a tease.
Am I a tease? I mean, I don't know. You'll have to get in touch, but I don't think so. I mean, just when it comes to music and food, but that's about it.
Okay, fair enough.
Food is my weapon, not yeah.
All right, come on. Give us the cracker. What's up?
Yeah, so I've got some Brisbane shows like at the end of this month, and then Brisbane, and then I'm going to be playing in Kingscliff, which is literally like, now that I'm looking at my calendar, I'm like, that is a week away. So I need to announce this tour because it starts next, like on Wednesday the 26th, and I haven't even announced it.
Like, do you want people to show up?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, people don't have plans; they'll work it out.
Oh, so North Coast people are different.
I feel like, you know, a lot of the time you try and plan something in advance. Someone, they're like, don't talk to me about the future, but I'm just going to throw it at them last minute. But so we've got next week. Well, the 26th it starts in Brisbane at the Triffid with like an acoustic Wednesdays, and then I'm going to be in Kingscliff on Friday the 28th at the Kingscliff Beach Hotel, and then heading down to Sydney. I'm playing a show there on the 6th at the Lansdowne Hotel. And then the 11th at Mosh Pit in Sydney. And then I'm going to be in Melbourne, where you are, on the 18th, playing at Wesleyan.
Which I'm so excited for, by the way.
I'm so excited. We actually get to like have like not a virtual catch up, but a real one.
I know. I'm already excited.
Yeah. And then following on from that, it's like I've got a few regional shows and then heading back up this way. And I'm going to be doing like a show in Ipswich at Studio 188. And then the full album launch is going to be right at the end of the tour. At the end of July. So it's exciting, and I get to go camping in my car, and I can't wait.
Nice. What kind of car is it?
It's a, people say they look like those, like a toy car. It's a Toyota FJ Cruiser.
It isn't one of the station wagons, is it?
It's like they've got like the white top and then a colourful body, and it's a four-wheel drive.
Yep.
Yeah. So I built a bed into the back of my four-wheel drive, and it's great because I can go to, good campsites in it. But
that's cool.
It's getting to be, there's a lot of stuff. So when I sleep at night, I'll put all the stuff in the front seats, like all my 3 guitars and amps and whatnot. But, it's still just a car. So I'm getting a van, and so this is my last tour in my car called Zeus, sadly. And then, we'll be moving on. And, the van's going to be good. No offense to the van, but I'm sad to be letting go.
It's all nostalgia.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to say as well, Mardi, thank you so much for coming on the show again.
You're welcome. It was fun both times. I had a great time.
I'm so happy. And I'm so keen to see some of these songs live when you do come down next month. We are going to play one of the non-single songs, which we did choose the other week, called Missing Me. Now, you said there was a little bit of a story behind this one. If you could just briefly tell us what was going on when this one was written, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I was with a mate in Melbourne, and she was going through a bit of a situation with a guy, and just like, just shit, like relationship shit. Never a good time. I don't know. Just, it was one of those things where it was just messy and yucky, and they both kind of still had feelings for each other. So I was, we were playing, well, I was playing my last show in, Melbourne, not Sydney. And we went to this house party, and I had to take my guitar from the gig, and we started writing it in the middle of this house party. I was kind of singing, and she just explaining to me the story of what happened. So it was kind of like my way of getting her emotions out in a song, because usually I write songs from my perspective, but it was nice to take on like someone else's emotions and write a song for them. And I think I was saying last week how funny it was that I have a friend that is in a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
And she was like, this is such a sense of comfort. And I'm like, wow, that's funny, because it was meant to be a bit of a screw you kind of a song. So everyone will take what they want from it. But this was sort of like a song that I wrote for a friend, like on her behalf, to say a bit of a up yours to this guy.
Of course. As you say, and like we were mentioning before, as far as you're aware, has the person in question gotten wind of the fact that the song's about them yet? Or are you not sure at all?
I actually don't know, but like the friend that I wrote it for is going to be arriving here in like 5 minutes. So I'll message you and I'll let you know if you sent it to him or something.
I want all the juicy details, and this is like going to be, this is going to be something we'll have to have shots over, I think, a good old fireball, I think.
We need to place bets on it.
Yeah. I've always got a habit of just getting around and buying a round of fireball with whoever I'm with. So you might have to be my target of choice after the show at the Wesley next month.
I mean, if any shot is to happen, I think fireball's one of the best ones. So I'm so keen for that.
Yeah. Oh, it's on record now, so it's got to happen.
You will not hear me say no. I'm there for it. I'm so excited.
Mardi, again, thanks so much for coming in and doing this again with me. It's been so much fun. Genuinely.
It has been so much fun. You're welcome anytime. And we'll do it, hopefully we won't have to redo it again, but I'll be back, hopefully.
We're going to make sure you check out her album too. Get Lost. out now wherever you stream it. Bloody go to mardywilson.com or go to her socials on Facebook and Instagram and what have you. Make sure you go and give it a stream wherever you stream your music too. And if she's coming to your area when she gets around to announcing the bloody shows, go and see her and buy her a fireball shot.
Thank you.
Pat her on the back and tell her that she's awesome, you know.
That's an order.
That's an order from up top down here, you know.
Exactly. You know what to tell them.
Mardi, you champ. Let's do this. What are the good people at home about to listen to, and who the fuck are you?
They're about to listen to Missing Me, and my name's Mardi Wilson. Thanks for having me talk so much shit on this Monday night, or Thursday will be when it's released. It was great. I had such a good time.
Missing Me. Now, Mardi.
Missing Me.
Get lost. Go away. Fuck off.
You get lost. Don't tell me.
All right.
Get out of here.
I guess you've been missing me now, and you bet I've been missing you. Do I want just one night alone with you? I know that would keep you amused. Or is it something more that my heart is searching for? Well, I feel like it's been torn into pieces every time that I find myself speechless and unsure. I guess you've been missing me now. So much I don't even know how. I find my way through these days. It's so cold and I can't stay. So I guess you've been missing me. Come home to this empty bed, thinking about what I should have said. Did I come on too strong, or was the timing wrong? Well, I feel like I've been torn to pieces every time that I find myself speechless and unsure. I guess you've been missing me now. So much I don't even know how. I find my way through these days. I'm drunk and I can't stay. So I guess you've been missing me. It's not so fun feeling alone, and I know how to be who I am, but I wouldn't mind someone to share it with. Can you love me? I guess you've been missing me now. Done with me now.
AustralianMusiciansRadio.com